Hi dudes, my name is Magnus and today we'll be building a PC. Okay, so starting off with the motherboard. I have gone with a AMD based motherboard from MSI. It is the B450M Mortar Max, which supports DDR4, 3200 and above. And for the processor, I have gone with this Ryzen 5 3600 from AMD, because everybody knows that AMD is better than Intel nowadays because they're just better. Okay, so for the GPU, I've gone with this RTX 3060 from Nvidia because this was the cheapest one I could find on this market, which is pretty scout. Anyway, this has 12 gigabytes of GDDR6 memory. It has ray tracing support, which everybody wants nowadays. This is about as fast as an RTX 2070 and a GTX 1080 Ti from 2 generations ago. It's crazy how that a 60 series card can beat the flagship of whatever 2 generations ago. And to cool the CPU, the very power hungry CPU, I went with this, the Antec A400, which is it has a 120mm fan on the front, and I'm planning to put front to back airflow configuration because that's the best for cooling. For the RAM, I've gone with Kingston's Fury Beast DDR4 3600 MHz. And as for the storage, I've gone with this Crucial P2 drive, 1TB drive, an M.2 NVMe SSD. So it's really compact, it's light, and most of all, it can fit in the motherboard because it also has an M.2 slot. And to power all of these components, I've gone with an EVGA 600 watt 80 plus standard power supply. So this may be a little bit overkill since the recommended power rating for all of these parts is like 500 and something watts. But for future proofing and for it not to blow up, I've just gone with something a little bit more higher rated than what these parts can take. And for the case, I've gone with this Cougar MX330G from Cougar because it has a great combination of airflow and cost, whatnot, and also aesthetics because that's what matters in most gaming PCs nowadays. Now let's go for the unboxing. So now let's build this gaming machine by starting with the motherboard. And what we have inside is, of course, the motherboard, instructions on how to assemble it under here, power connectors, stickers, manuals, the I/O shield. That's going to be important for the case because it doesn't have a pre-installed I/O shield, and some screws for the M.2 slots. So what we're gonna do here is put the motherboard on the box because it acts kind of like a place to build. When handling the motherboard, of course, handle it by the back plates, the sides, and the plastic connectors and whatnot. I feel like this could break at any moment. So, to install the CPU, we first have to take the CPU out of the box. And the included cooler is not needed because we have our own. And what you'll notice is this particular series of CPUs and all Ryzen CPUs have these pins at the back that correlate with the cutouts of the pins on the motherboard. What you're gonna need to do is lift the arm up and find this little golden triangle and then align it with this triangle right here, like so. And don't put pressure on the CPU unless you want your pins to break. Then you put the arm down carefully. That's your CPU, and it's in. So now that we're done with the installation of the CPU, we can head on over to either the RAM or the SSD. But I'll just go with RAM first because why not? So you see these latches here? Pull them back. And for maximum performance, use slots 2 and 4. Now that I have the RAM open, let's install it. And you'll want to align the cutout here to the notch in the motherboard. So just go like this. I believe so. Yes, it goes there. And you'll want to push on it until you hear 2 clicks. That's a crack, I heard. No, it's not. Nope, it's not inside. There we go. Hopefully it's not broken. And then just do the same here. My hands are so shaky that I can't even align it correctly. There we go. Now we move on to the SSD. So for this one, we will need the aforementioned screws. We'll only need one though because we only have one SSD that's being installed. And for this, you actually do need a screwdriver, so don't forget that. So you insert it like the RAM, basically. You align the notch here with the cutout here, and on some motherboards, this thing on the back will not actually be installed, so you have to install it yourself using the included spacer in the motherboard box. Just rip this open. I just forgot there were scissors over there, so we're just gonna cut it open like this, and hopefully the screw doesn't fall anywhere else but my hand. Yeah, this is very slow. Why does it have to be at the back? Okay, now you may see the M.2 SSD going at a slight angle, but that's fine because you'll actually, yes, that's the part of the thing. Now you'll want to align the screw there with the back of this so it will actually go in. And now don't screw it in too tight, maybe like until you feel a bit of resistance, then you can stop there. So before we install the cooler, I just want to show you something very interesting. So you take out the included cooler, and if you look on the back, there's already pre-applied thermal paste. But we're not going to use this, so I'll just put it back in the box because we're not going to use this cooler. So if you want a AM4 cooler, then just hit me up. I'll pick a random winner in the comments. Anyway, since that's that, we have this cooler. This is both compatible with AM4, LGA, Intel, whatnot. These are the included back plates for that. Thermal paste, you'll need that. Screws and whatnot for mainly the Intel systems. But we're building an AMD system here, not an Intel system. So, yes, we have this big chunky of a cooler over here. To install it, we'll have to remove the fan first. So we have removed it, the hinges, I mean. So we're gonna remove the fan. Whoa! and it's just the heatsink now. And if you look on the bottom of the heatsink, there's this plastic cover which prevents from scratching and denting and whatnot. You have to remove this because it'll actually heat up your PC a lot more. So yes, just remove that. And before we install the cooler, once again, we have to make we have to install, put on some thermal paste. Yes, just not that much, maybe just a bit, like about that much. So to install this cooler, you basically just align the hole here with this thing, the notch there, and careful not to break this, please don't break. Now that we got the nightmare that is known as the cooler installed, let's plug in the CPU fan header. So sometimes it will be here, sometimes it will be there. Wherever it is, it's marked, yeah, you will see it. So align it like so, plug it in, hope it doesn't break. Whoosh, magic! This is now cable managed. Now, what we need to do is put this inside the case. And this is the hardest part because you do not want to scratch the underside of your motherboard. So the plan is put the motherboard in the case, of course, and then route everything accordingly. And the anchor points will be over here on these 4. We don't need these 2 because if you anchor on these 4 points, then it will already be secured. So what I'm doing here is bending the pins of the I/O shield and checking if it will align with the ports here along the side of the motherboard, because you don't want those to short and fry the motherboard itself. So just for the sake of making sure this PC runs, I'm doing that. So now that I have bent all the pins that need to be bent on the I/O shield so that it doesn't short out the ports and the I/O and whatnot, they go right here in this hole. Just slide it in and make sure there is 4 clicks or 2. Yeah. We need to get it into the thing first, of course. Yeah. So now that we got all of the standoffs in, we first have to check where they are. This is a very delicate process, so please do not damage the motherboard. Right, so we got it in the case now, and all we need to do is secure it. And you see these gold things here? Those are the standoffs. We need to screw them in order to secure the motherboard. Fudge, man. Okay, there we go. Put one here for safety, because everybody likes safety. There we go. Right. And finally, we'll put one right there. Pretty tricky if there's a camera in your face. Right now, we're gonna put this power supply inside of the case. So, case on the table, and on the back, we put in this power supply. Now, yeah. This side is facing outward. Yeah, this is just, oh my god. Right, so we have installed the power supply inside of this case. Now all we need to do is screw it in. Place it in. Nope, not that way. So maybe it's this way. Pretty hard to tell when you're not facing that way. Open this graphics card because we need to check if it fits. And we need to check which slots need to be a thing there. But yeah. Anyway, first let's feel it because feel is satisfying. Smells very metallic. Okay, that's peeled. And now for the back peel. Oh, there. Okay, that was good. So basically, this is a 2.5 slot graphics card. So you'll need to break this one off or unscrew it if your case is that just like that. Fudge. I'm too scared to break it because I'm gonna scratch the motherboard. Probably, maybe, hopefully not. There we go. Right, so for the highest speed you can possibly get out of this graphics card, you always need to have it on the topmost slot on the motherboard. Right, almost final piece. Okay. So after some very tedious cable management, we have finally managed everything and put in the graphics card. It's complete. The only thing we need to do right now is test if it's and to see if it works. Yes, it is the best. The symphony of destruction. Yeah.
Is it 110 or 220?
Which one?
Yamana?
Okay.
Which one? Put it properly inside all the way.
Yeah. Oh. What's that? What's that sound? Oh. What's that sound? What's that sound? What's that sound?
Hi guys, please keep these up. Also, you got the keyboard, and I'm so happy for him. Also, hi guys. Also, my word is wow. Wow.
We need to fix something there.
Oh, it's running like a motorcycle, this one.
Wait, it's the graphics card fan.
It's hitting something?
Yeah, it's hitting the connector. It's out of the way now. Let's set everything up in the BIOS. Woohoo! Okay. What are you? Game boost. What's that mean? Wow. I can't believe it. Okay. Memory. Mouse. Right now, I'm trying to install Windows, my preferred operating system. Right? Language to install United Kingdom. Where we type the key. You have to get your own key. Windows.
Now we will wait for this to load.
And it's gonna take like 10 hours to complete. So, Windows has completed installing. We're just setting it up now. Yes. So, we have completed. We installed the Windows, and in the next video, we will be testing out the capabilities of this machine. So, like ray tracing, Quake ray tracing, Doom Eternal ray tracing, and whatnot. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Hopefully, it doesn't turn off suddenly. Okay.
Really? What can you
so
say?
happy.
Coolest computer.
I'm happy for him.
Really?
Yeah.
Will you borrow it?
This display.
You wanna borrow it? Or you gonna
Ew!
destroy it?
No. Don't do that.
1024?